Hey guys, I'm Vanessa, and I'm going to tell you how I got scammed on Craigslist. I guess this is kind of a cautionary tale about, maybe know a little bit about what you're buying before you go into any Craigslist deal, because as I found out, it's really easy to get fucked over. Let's just dive right into the story. I am the worst driver ever, so I don't have my license. I'm horrible at driving. So one day I decided, you know what, I really want to get an electric scooter. Now, in BC where I live, you don't need a driver's license to ride an electric scooter, and you can take them on all roads, you just can't take them on the highway. So I was like, well, this is perfect. I can take it to the grocery store, I can take it to the mall, it's no big deal. So this is the best purchase. And so I looked on Craigslist and I found this guy that was selling one for $800, and like that was really a good price for like the scooter that I wanted. So I went over there and I saw it. Yeah. So when I went there, I'd never ridden a scooter before. So instead of me riding the scooter, because I didn't want to fuck this guy's scooter up, like in case I crash it or something, so I just, got him to ride it up and down some hills, and got him to just kind of test it out for me. And so I watched him ride it, and I got my boyfriend to ride it, and it seemed okay at the time. So I was like, awesome, I'll buy this from you. I'll take it off your hands. So I bought it, and that is where all hell broke loose. So I brought the scooter home, and at first I didn't really use it very much because I had to admit I was like a little bit scared. I was like, it's kind of like a motorcycle. It can go up to 40 kilometers. I could kind of get hurt if I use this thing. So I was a little bit skeptical, especially since I've never really been on the road before. But I guess I ended up taking it out for a ride, and I noticed that when I went up hills and like revved it all the way, it would shut off, and I was like, I better not have gotten screwed. And I definitely got screwed over. And so the more we use it, the more we notice that like you really couldn't take it up to 40 kilometers. Like that just was something that this bike couldn't do. It would shut off and you'd have to reset the breaker, which is kind of dangerous when you're going 40 kilometers for the bike to just kind of shut right off. And of course the guy from Craigslist, he said, text me if you have any problems, yada yada. But of course he stopped answering his phone. So that was really convenient of him. So I was like, it's fine. You know what? I'll take it back into the scooter retailer, and they'll probably be able to help me. I knew that the guy had done some aftermarket work on the bike. I knew that he put in a bigger volt battery, which he said that it would just kind of make it so that you could go a little bit farther on the bike. He said he hadn't had any problems and that he did it to his other bike, and he just had two, which was like the reason he wanted to give it up. So I was like, maybe he just didn't know how to put the battery in properly, and I'll just take it back to the retailer. So I ended up emailing the retailer and being like, hey, I got this bike, and it's kind of like it can't go up hills, like it just shuts off. Do you think that you could help me bring it back to factory settings? And they were like, oh, absolutely, like bring it on in, we'll help you out. And I was like, perfect. Except one day, I was riding the bike, and my dad really wanted to ride it. So I rode it like halfway to my parents' house, and then my dad rode it the rest of the way. And I didn't think anything of it, and I brought the charger because the bike was only at 20%. So the whole way back, I felt bad for my poor dad. The bike was like dying on him every few feet, and he kept having to turn it back, flipping the breaker, turning it back on.
He's turning? Why is he turning?
So eventually we got it home, and I was like, perfect, we'll just charge it for a little bit, and then you can ride it a little bit more, and that'll be great. And that's where my bike committed suicide. I plugged the bike in, it was plugged into an extension cord in my parents' garage, and everything was okay for the first little bit. And we were leaving the house, my parents were going to take me to the mall, they were going to drop me off there, and all of a sudden I hear this noise. I'm like, what is that noise? And then I see the charger go up in smoke. So my charger lit on fire. So I was like, awesome. This better not have fucked up the bike. But I won't know because I can't charge it now. So I can't see if the bike is fucked up from the charger lighting on fire. But let me just tell you, we were so lucky that we were home. Because if we weren't home, that thing would have caught the entire house on fire. I shit you not. So I'm kind of thinking of going and egging this guy's house for selling me something like that. I mean, that's kind of like a petty thing to do, but I'm petty, so I have no shame. My boyfriend keeps saying, don't do that. But you know what? You made me spend $800 of my hard-earned money on something that almost lit my parents' house on fire. So I feel like you deserve a carton of eggs to your house, you know? So, yeah, that is the story of the time I got fucked over on Craigslist.